That was really funny. All right, well, I'm curious about just the Netflix show in general. Obviously, you guys are getting, again, popularity, notoriety, yada yada, at least in SoCal and everywhere else, so just on social media. But were you guys presented with the opportunity from Netflix, or is that something that you just had an idea or a pitch and pitched it to Netflix, someone that worked at Netflix, or what's the story behind that?
We had a couple of videos go viral, and then it's all Chad's right to say we were very like fly by the seat of our pants. I think the thing we've always just tried to make sure is that like we're growing, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, in some capacity. And with that, it was like a slow, like first we had a pilot with like a smaller production company, and then we had another video go viral, and we started getting attention from more production companies. So then we kind of broadened the search for a partner, and then we linked up with Absolutely Productions, who made like Nathan for You or Eric Andre, and then they brought us to like all the different platforms like Amazon and Hulu and Netflix. And we came at them at a good time when they were buying a lot of stuff, and it was a very competitive buying marketplace, you know?
Mhm.
Like I remember they were all competing over who had the best office. And like Netflix is like the like it's just incredible. It has like just ice cream on every floor that you can just grab. And then and so they were all like flush, and so it was a good time to try and sell. And then we just had a good week of pitching and did really well with the Netflix one, and then they followed up like a month later and bought it. And then our other offer was from like Quibi, which we almost went
Mhm.
with, and probably grateful we didn't because it doesn't exist anymore.
Does there go any like nerve into behind like signing a deal like that?
I don't think I was nervous about signing the deal. I was just nervous about doing well and then doing a good job and then having it do well. I guess when we started the YouTube stuff, it was we sort of viewed YouTube as like a means to get to the TV show kind of
Okay.
stage. But that was kind of what we were like really aiming for. And so once we got it, I think we were just stoked and like, yeah, we'll do whatever. We just wanted to have the chance to do it and do it well. And so I think that was the main concern going into it.
JT, same.
Yeah, no hesitation signing with them. It was like one of the I'll remember that moment forever when we got the phone
Yeah.
call that they wanted it. The only hesitation now is that like TV takes forever. It's not a fast moving process. Like even if you
Mhm.
sell a show, you might have to wait 8 months before all the contracts are done. So it's just kind of and then like, from the time we sold it to the time the show came out was probably 4 years.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So you're like, because COVID happened too. So there was some like
Yeah.
unforeseen, like biblical level interventions, but you're like I was way older when the show came out. I was like, I'm like a
Yeah.
different human.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. I didn't know they do that. I wonder if they do that for a lot of the shows then is what it sounds like.
I think it's even tougher for scripted stuff, honestly. Like fully scripted stuff, that can take if you go to like I've never worked there, but the reputation was always if you go to HBO, they'll like noodle on your script for like 3 years before they'll put it into production.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So they get the final edit of everything, obviously, then.
Like someplace like HBO just wants it to be like perfect. So they're like, hey, like we have like a really high bar of like, what it's got to feel like. So we're gonna make sure it's perfect before we do. And then so you're like, you know, you're burning through a lot of your life, and but it's totally worth it. Like
Yeah.
to have something come out on a big platform you know, is felt really rewarding and felt like
Yeah.
it was all awesome.
Who are you guys watching it with the very first time it comes out on Netflix? Just friends and family?
Yeah, it was the night we had like a premiere, and that night I got hammered. We all got hammered. It was really
Huge
fun.
mistake. Huge mistake by us.
Oh yeah, yeah. The next day was brutal. But that night I watched it. I don't really remember, but I watched through it at
Yeah.
like midnight when it came out. But then the next day I'm like hungover and freaking out. I'm like, is anyone watching this thing?
It's actually funny to you guys too, isn't it? Like you guys obviously know you're funny dudes and like you're still watching it, you know everything that happens, but like you're like, dude, that's fucking hilarious actually going back on it. And it's like 4 years later too, you know?
I guess the thing is, what's cool is when you watch it, we got to watch like the first two episodes with like a bunch of friends and family and people who had worked on it, and
Mhm.
watching them laugh at things that I didn't even realize were funny because I'd seen it by that point. Like we were in the edit, so we've seen the show 2,000 times by the time
Yeah.
other people see it. So then you're like, I forgot that was even supposed to be funny. I've seen it so many times. That was really
Right.
watching it with like a live audience was really rewarding.
I think for me, what I found last night, like looking up if the actual, like the Dong March was real, and yeah, it was a real thing. So that's kind of the cool thing that you guys did in the Netflix. I guess that was a part of the script, obviously, where it's like, well, let's kind of take these different viral moments that we've done before, like these viral, like city council meetings, and just plug it into whatever the story of the plot is in this Netflix show.
Yeah, the Dong March too is really cool because we had been planning that, and it was tough to pull off because we had to get, you know, the city to well, we have to get like a license, JT, or
Yeah,
like
you get a permit to do like a to take up to close roads basically.
yeah. And then the cool thing about that is like as we were finishing that day, we started to see it pop off on Reddit. So that was sort of, and then Bill Maher talked about it. He took it seriously. And he's like, here in LA, there was a small Dong March. And
I think a lot of people took it seriously, bro, because there's a ton of articles about it.
yeah, dude, it's amazing. And so like Charlemagne the God, we got him too.
Yeah.
He's like, these people are real. You'll find these people on the internet.
I saw that.
That's the best feeling when you can trick people in the industry. Even though the cause is very real and near and dear to our hearts.
Of course.